But now there was a lot more wall where that came from. Well, the joke's on them. I made the Vikings pay for it. LOL, political references. Just, okay, no. What is going on again, Nerd Paraders? Thank you guys so much for coming back to hang out with me today as we play some more Kingdoms and Castles. I would like to welcome you to my humble kingdom. For I, the humble Nerd Parade King, or Nerd Parade God, sitting on my God cloud, watching these little peasants run around like ants, makes me oddly want to find some kind of magnifying glass to... No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I could never do that to my humble nerd villagers. A terrible plague has swept in. Oh my god, 122 peasants have taken ill. This is karma. I deserve this. I was talking bad about my villagers and they all got sick on me. This is terrible. I'll just have to find them and squish them one by one. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that to my nerd villagers. They're doing so good, keeping this humble kingdom a hustling and a bustling. But I want to welcome you back to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us and play some Kingdoms and Castles. If this is your very first episode of the Castles and Kingdoms, or Kingdoms and Castles, I just flipped that crap. If this is your very first episode, welcome to the channel. You picked an interesting one to make your first because this is the actual last episode of the season or series that we're going to be playing through. So be sure to go back and watch the other ones for some full enjoyment factor. But if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to the page before you do so. Anyway, I am Nick, guys. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. This is Nerd Parade and the Nerd Kingdom, or aka Dragon's Fall, which I thought sounded really cool. And we are going to show off our beautiful, humble kingdom, city, majestic synonym here. I can't think of anything. Like, Mecca. No, it's not Mecca. It's a medieval times thing. Okay. Distraction. Topic change. We're building walls, and that's what we were doing in the last episode. I wanna put an orchard right here. We also have food. Ooh, I can. Yay. He was slow enough on the tree chopping that I was able to get it there. In the last episode, we had just started on our wall construction. Now, you're probably noticing, hey, what's going on? Your kingdom looks a lot larger than last time. And I'd say, oh, well, thank you. I have been... No, 35 peasants died from plague. That's what I get for talking crap. I was gonna say something very cheeky, like, oh, thank you. I have been working out lately, or something along those lines. But the dying peasants kind of ruined the whole thing for me. They will be missed. But not forgotten. I'll pour one out for my homie. Make sure the cap's on this. Pour one out for my homies. There we go. Okay, back to my regular scheduled shenanigan program. Kingdoms and Castles, like we were saying in the last episode, we had just started on the wall build. But now there was a lot more wall where that came from. Well, the joke's on them. I made the Vikings pay for it. LOL, political references. Just, okay, no, I really didn't make the Vikings pay for it. I built the wall. So I prefer the much more appropriate Attack on Titan anime reference. Da-da-da-da-da, we built a wall now. Da-da-da-da-da, we built a wall now. I realized that first one was really high-pitched, so I had to do it, and you know what? Moving right along, I'm sorry. We built the wall. I had actually recorded the footage of me building the wall, but when I went back to edit it, watching it in the editing phase, I also did this too. Because I got bored. Let me talk about this really quickly first. This used to be land, and then I turned it all into moats because I was flush with cash. Basically, I'll work my way there. Oh, I didn't mean to pause. I was flush with cash. I decided that I wanted to erase the land to make it that much harder for the Vikings to raid and the dragons to pillage. So I turned this bitch into Alcatraz. I turned my Nerd Kingdom into Alcatraz, and it's just... This place is just impenetrable. I need Vikings to attack so that you can really see and appreciate this, but we'll talk about kind of how I got there. So, I had recorded the footage of me building the wall, and it was just... I went back, and I was in the editing process, and I was watching it through, and I was like, this is junk. And the reason why is because it was boring. Now, if you've seen many other Nerd Parade videos, I watched my footage back in the editing process to some point. Like I'll sometimes like half pay attention. But when I was rewatching or editing the wall build episodes, it was quite literally a full episode of click, 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 click. Okay, we're making the wall up higher. Now we're going to wait for stone and wood. Click, 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 click. Oh, look, we did another row. Okay, great, stone and wood. And it was just so time-consuming that I was like, you know what? I'm going to like speed it up. I'm going to motor past that. So we did, and at a certain point, I actually left the game on. I was getting so frustrated, or bored rather, with waiting on the resources to build up that I had gotten to the point where most of the walls had ballistae, which I feel like is the plural term for ballista, the ballista turrets. So I'm going to say ballistae turrets, so ballistae being plural. If it's not plural, it is now. I've decreed it. It is Nerd Parade decreed. It's been added to the dictionary. I'll make a phone call to Webster. He and I are like really close, so it'll be no problem. I'm sure he won't mind slipping that in case it's not. If it already is, then yeah, I knew that all along. Ballistae. I had all the ballistae stacked next to each other. That was not really required. They're so freaking overpowered that I decided to space them out by one. And after you have a decent amount, like covering your perimeter, they just annihilate everything. Absolutely everything. Nothing can touch you. Dragons are like a fart in the wind. It doesn't even matter. Like, maybe, hopefully we'll get attacked so I can show you. It just doesn't even matter. It's insane. So I left the game on all night. And we advanced something, I think it might have popped up over here. When we left off, we were in like year 100. And when I got back to the game, it was like year 400 or something. And I was flush with all the resources, all the cash. I'm still pretty flush with resources and cash, as you can see. And I just built up the wall. The Vikings paid for it. Just kidding. I'm not making that reference anymore. That was 2-in-1 video. And this is more or less where we got to. So in this episode, what I'm going to do for the finale is we're going to finish it. We're going to finish the wall. Oh, one more. This was the, so I can show you like what the whole, what it was you missed. Okay, cool. Oh, wow, so exciting. Oh, cool, another wall got built. Wow, no. Nerd Parade, you're the greatest. Whoa. Woohoo, another wall layer, awesome. Oh, year 430, that's what it was. We're like year 430. Anyway, back to my boring build, not montage, what's the word I'm looking for? Pantomime? Yeah, we'll go with that. Oh, no way. Stacking. This was just actually much slower because we had to wait for the resources. So it was like, oh, cool. Oh, cool. That was the thing, and I was just going back, and I was trying to like make jokes throughout it, and my jokes were up as they were normal. The jokes were fine. The jokes were normal. They're always bad, so I made peace with that. But this is like, I decided to speed it up. I made the executive decision to speed this up, and I'm kind of glad that I did because I could show you some of the changes that I've made to this city when I was doing it. Now, it's for the best because that boredom, as I was waiting for resources to go, gave me the opportunity to get off my clicker button, to figure out how to make all of my villagers extraordinarily happy. And I'm going to show you that today. So this can be like kind of a helpful finale for you guys. So I was looking, doing some math. We checked out the houses. I actually turned all of the houses from cottages into manors too. I just upgraded them because I had the resources. The manors required some more food. Therefore, we planted some more in some of the areas that were trees. We planted the more food so that we could keep the manors fed. We could keep their food in their bellies right next to that PBs and jellies. Those guys need to have, they require more food. So we got them all taken care of. But we'll click on one home, for example. The reason why I needed to keep the villagers very happy is because I'm taxing the absolute tatas off my peasants. It is very expensive to live in the Nerd-City, but that's because it's so safe, and it's and there's no crime here, and it's just a fun, happy place to be. Everyone loves it. So they're being taxed at the absolute max ratio because I needed to pay for these buggers. I needed to pay for all the ballistae, and they're 12 gold a year. So I needed to make sure that these peasants were getting taxed to the max, and being taxed to the max makes them not so happy pants. So we needed to make them as happy pants as possible while taxing them to the max, so we had to do some math, and I'm really bad at math, so it took me a solid frickin' forever, but we figured it out. Now, I'm going to go over some of the things that these dudes like. So everybody likes having access to charcoal, but they'll go pretty much anywhere for it that I've noticed. But I've given everybody a decently close solution for charcoal. Like this market will stock charcoal. There's another one that just has it, like there's a charcoal burner very close by here. They'll all get it. The next one is having neighbors. They like being built next to other people. So that was a big boost. So 5 from charcoal, 8 from neighbors, 8 from having road access, making sure that there's roads all around, 8 from just being near a well. All of this was like adding up, and I was like, oh, okay, this is all starting to slowly make sense now to me. This was a big one though. Near a body of water. You can kind of trick the system in the same way that I built the Alcatraz. Let me speed this up so that the wall gets built. In the same way that we built the Alcatraz, you could drop down moats behind houses so that they have like pools in their backyard, so to speak. And that makes them really freaking happy. +8 happy, in fact. Not only that, but we've got, everybody needs to be built near a library, a max tier library, because libraries level up over time, and that's +20. Super huge. Churches, they're a measly. You get like 3 or 4 out of churches, whatever. But bars, taverns are a big one. It doesn't mean you should not do it, because you need all the happiness you can get, but bars is another big one. I had built like no taverns in my city, so I was like, oh, people like getting drunk, so let's stick bars near places. And statues. Bars, statues, and town centers. Like this one, for example, is super +5 happy because they're near a town center. So I went through and just made sure all houses had access to this stuff so that I could tax the crap out of people and still maintain a high population and get flush with cash, get all that gold in the coffers, and all that gold in the coffers, all those hungry, empty bellies required more orchards. And here we sit now. So figuring out statues give happiness was a big one because I didn't know that they gave +5. That kind of pushed me over the top, and that was like a for science thing. We accidentally kind of discovered that. Anyway, long story short, this is where we're at now, and ballistas need to be built. These are the last ones. The last few ballistae, which will ward off all interlopers and invaders in my kingdom. This is it. This is the final one. And we're done. That's it. The kingdom is complete. Now, this is more or less the end of the game. And the reason why I say that, when I built the wall up, earlier in the video I said that the kingdom becomes kind of untouchable. Dragons are trivialized, they get shot down before they even, like, half the time before they're even announced. And Vikings get annihilated by the ballistae up on the walls. My walls were smaller to begin with, but I had enough, less ballistae than this, but I had enough ballistae to surround that I was able to do what I told you, go to bed and let the game run. Granted, I let it run on 1 speed, but we let it go. And it advanced us close to 300 years overnight, or until it took me to get back to the game. But we were flush with resources. I was in no threat from that point. Now, nothing in this game is going to be able to touch me. Absolutely nothing. My kingdom is beyond unraidable. It was unraidable before because I just let it go. Now it's in, like, it's a fortress. Not even Titans are breaking these walls. It's kind of bonkers. I'm wanting, at some point in this video, for a giant horde of Vikings to come and try to pillage my women and steal from my coffers. And they just get LOL trolled. It's ridiculously funny. But this is the end of the game. There's nothing really else to do. The game has a little bit of replay value in the sense that you can up the difficulty and you can build on different map seeds because they're all randomly generated, just contending with the terrain, but you can more or less terraform how you want with the moats. And that's really it. I mean, it definitely, this game is a lot of fun. It scratched that Banished itch for me. Banished is a game that I very much enjoy, city builder, a lot like this. And it definitely scratched that itch for me, but I don't know if I'll be coming back to it unless there's some kind of major content update, some new structures or something along those lines, because there's really not a lot. The castle, like the wood, is obviously way outclassed by the stone. The Archer Tower is way outclassed by the Ballista Tower. and they're really not that different in cost. So I went straight, I just skipped this altogether, but I tested some out just for curiosity and science when I was flush with cash, and they're not that great. I never even once messed with having soldiers. Oh, a dragon. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, we can't even find it. Oh, there it is. Just dead. Insta dead. Insta dead. LOL, insta dead. Can't even touch me. I want Vikings to attack at this point so I can show you. I never even messed with soldiers. You don't need to. There's no real need. They cost money. You have to pay them to keep them like fighting for you, when the ballistae cost money and do the job way, way better. Building the wall around here, it makes this place practically impenetrable. The higher you go, the more health the wall has. So we have 20 health. That means this wall is 20 high. I built the walls up 20 high, 20 blocks high, and they have 20 health. It's just kind of bonkers. Let's zoom in. Let's take a closer look at like what the city has become. We've got just houses everywhere, churches everywhere. We got charcoal burning. We got to keep the houses warm, especially now in the winter. We got food storages everywhere. These irrigations for the farms to make sure. Why is that not spinning? Something's wrong. There's not enough staff. Oh, okay. I guess somebody took the night off or whatever. We got to just irrigate this stuff so it can grow. Let's rotate it. I found out that the statues give happiness. Yay for everybody. Oh, I didn't mean to pause. I hit spacebar. Churches. I have like 3 hospitals just to try to cure as many peasants as possible whenever plague hits. Plague will kill a lot of people, and it'll make them like really grumpy. And grumpy people, when you're trying to tax the balls off them, doesn't make for a good recipe of having a successful town. But that's it. I feel like I'm coming at you with a lot of word vomit and a lot of like maybe Kingdoms and Castles knowledge bombs. But if it weren't for actually having to have the barracks as part of upgrading your kingdom, I don't think I'd ever would have messed with it. See? 0 soldiers are ready and waiting. Had no use for them. Absolutely no use. I made... Yeah, there's the taverns. I made a bunch of these bakeries. The bakers help with preserving food. It's all there is to it. Let me see if I can get you a Viking battle here really quickly. And we'll speed it up to the sense this wall... No! Plague! Damn you, Plague! You're the only thing that... It's the only thing I'm weak against inside my walled-off fortress is Plague. It takes from me at every turn. But it's almost done. It's almost done. This is gonna be like the climax and the finale. Is the completion of my nerd kingdom, a humble kingdom with over 1,000 villagers, happy villagers. Oh, why are they? They're not happy because of average something, probably because of plague. So we're gonna hold a festival in my honor. Hooray, festival! Let's have another festival over here. Hooray, a festival! 38 peasants have died of plague. Hooray, festival! Celebrating the death of my peasants. It's really bad timing. I didn't mean for it to be like that, but hopefully it'll cheer these buggers up. Minus 50 sadness from recent plague deaths, but plus 25 from festival happiness. My mom has died, but damn, that festival was fun. That doesn't seem like a really good way to handle things, but let's have another festival. Festivals for everyone. A terrible plague has swept the land, 26 peasants. If I had the space, I think I'd make another plague doctor. Or hospital, I'm sorry. I call them plague doctors because, well, they are plague doctors. Because, look, they even have little plague doctor masks. Well, at least that's what it's supposed to be. It's pixel mask. Listen, I thought it was cool. Jeez, man. I'm gonna hide the happiness thing. And await a Viking assault. Because I just want to stomp on these guys, these Vikings, so that you guys can see it. All right, guys, we're back. I got a Viking invading, and I paused it just like right as soon as we could. So we're gonna unpause, view the Vikings, and just watch as they are annihilated. It's quite amusing. They're not insta-gibbed like the dragons, but it is quite amusing just to watch the Vikings get totally trolled. Their ships can't even make landfall. And my wall's almost done, so it's even worse for them. They're trying to land at the place that used to be land, but it's all moat now. Soldiers are getting ruined. Ships are getting sunk. More soldiers getting ruined. More ships getting sunk. They're trying to disembark. They can do nothing. They can do nothing against my might. just annihilated. And that one tiny block that just got damaged, my masonaries are... Oh, wait, maybe it's getting repaired already. But I have masonaries sit out around here. Where's like a masonry? I think you only need like one. Mason, right here. They'll repair it. If you've got resources, they'll repair it if it's damaged. Automatically. I don't have to do anything. Vikings annihilated. Ballista built. No one is manning the tower. Well, somebody will eventually go there. It's Nerd-catraz. This is quite literally the kingdom of Nerd-catraz. Nothing in or off of my island. We have completed kingdoms and castles. This is more or less going to do it. We got a Viking invasion to show you. A very underwhelming Viking invasion. But they are just ruined. Absolutely ruined. I hope you enjoyed this series of kingdoms and castles. Like I said earlier, guys, I definitely did. But unless there's a major update, some new buildings or something, I don't feel like it has that much replay value unless you're really looking for a challenge like during your build-up stage. But once you get to a point of like this, it's LOLGG. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode and finale of the Kingdoms and Castles series. I keep saying season, I mean series. If you did, be sure to slam that thumbs up button for me. Let me know that you like this stuff that way. If you haven't subscribed to the page yet, what are you waiting for? There's so much nerd parade goodness to go around for everyone. Please remember to smash that subscribe button as well before you move on to the next cool video in the tube of Ubery land. Anyway, most importantly of all, nerd paraders, please remember to take care of yourselves, stay awesome, and we'll catch you in our next series. Later. Oh, my castle's almost done. Completed, and there'll be nothing for me to do except close the game.